Welcome into College Football Now. I am Will Scott, and we have some news that broke yesterday. If you missed it because you're watching NFL football, Herm Edwards was fired by Arizona State. This comes after a stunning 30-21 loss at home to Eastern Michigan on Saturday night. Edwards was 26-20 in 4+ seasons at the helm in Arizona. ASU is under NCAA investigation for major sanctions. So not only did he kind of struggle to win games there, especially this season, but Arizona State is facing major sanctions. They're currently under investigation by the NCAA. So you have to think that also factored in to the decision here from Arizona State athletic director Ray Anderson to part ways with his longtime friend Herm Edwards. That hire was definitely got a lot of criticism a couple years ago when Anderson brought Arizona State to Tempe because he hadn't coached in over 10 years. He was an NFL coach with the Jets and the Chiefs, and then he joins college football in 2018 with Arizona State, but now his tenure there is over after they have decided to part ways with Herm Edwards. Now, how good is the Arizona State opening? Grade it 1 to 100. Down in the comments section, go down and let me know how good is the ASU job. Now let's get into some potential replacements here. We're going to rank them 10 through 1. Number 10 name being Scott Frost, who obviously just got fired at Nebraska after a disastrous tenure there. Surprisingly, did not go well. I mean, that was obviously a fantastic hire because he was a Nebraska legend. He did very well at UCF, had the undefeated season at UCF, but his tenure in Nebraska did not go well. Maybe a fresh start would bode well for him, and that fresh start can be in Tempe, but I do not expect him to be at the top of Arizona State's list. I still think he has potential to go and be a good head coach elsewhere, though. Tom Herman, another guy that's a pretty big name here that's going to be on Arizona's list potentially. Didn't do that bad at Texas. Obviously did not meet expectations there after he did very well at the University of Houston, 32-18 in 4 seasons at Texas. That includes a 7-3 season in 2020. However, they decided to part ways with him after the 2020 season, hired Steve Sarkisian. Do you think Tom Herman is going to get another head coaching job this year? Type Y for yes or type N for no. He's not coaching anywhere this year. Last year, he was an offensive analyst with the Chicago Bears, not with the Bears this year, not anywhere this year. Do you think he's going to get another job? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Let's talk about Bill O'Brien. If you're a Texans fan, cover your ears because he destroyed that franchise. But, now he's at Bama, doing an okay job as the OC there. I wouldn't say a great job. A lot of Bama fans don't like him, but he's going to be linked to really any big job that opens, right? Any Bama coordinator is always going to be linked to a job like this at Arizona State. Bill O'Brien was up for a couple jobs last year, did not get any of them. Maybe this year he will be up for more jobs. Arizona State, definitely one of the better jobs that's going to be available at season's end. This is my favorite candidate maybe on this list. Charles Huff, the head coach from Marshall, one of the best young head coaches in all of football, just 39 years old, was an assistant under Nick Saban, goes to Marshall, has had a lot of success there, obviously just beat Notre Dame. So Huff is definitely going to be a hot commodity, I think, at the end of this season. I would not be surprised if he gets poached from Marshall. Guys, go down and subscribe because we're going to have you covered with hot boards, coaching rumors, all the above, college football news as well. Go down and subscribe because the more head coach openings that go on, the more names we're going to see linked. You want to stay in the loop, go down, subscribe to Chat Sports. Clay Helton. It has not been a name that I've seen on Pete Thamel's list or Dennis Dodd's list. He's on my list, though, because he's got some Pac-12 coaching experience, and he's done a good job already at Georgia Southern. I think a lot of people, when Georgia Southern beat Nebraska and Scott Frost a little over a week ago, everyone's like, wait a minute, is that Clay Helton on the Georgia Southern sideline? He goes to Lincoln and beats Scott Frost. Helton went 46-24 at 6+ seasons at USC, went to 2 major bowl games there, including a Rose Bowl appearance. So I kind of like Clay Helton. Now, he wasn't the right guy at USC. There was a lot of pressure on him there. He didn't recruit super well in state. But maybe this is the right fit for Clay Helton. If he has some success at Georgia Southern this year, he should draw some interest. maybe Arizona State could be a good spot for him. Go down, let me know, who should Arizona State hire? Let me know down in the comment section. Is it Huff? Is it Clay Helton? Is it Tom Herman? Go down, who should Arizona State hire? A lot of y'all might say this guy, Lance Leipold, the head coach from Kansas, might be one of the best head coaches in the country. And no, that might be a hot take, but look at what he's done with Kansas. He has resurrected this Jayhawk program after several seasons where they're probably the worst Power 5 school. They're 3-0 this year. They're probably going to make a bowl game. They might be a 7 or 8 win football team. They play Duke this weekend, a matchup of undefeated teams. Kansas and Duke both 3-0, and this is not basketball, so what a world we're living in right now. But Lance Leipold is definitely going to be one of the top head coaching names in terms of some openings that we see. He would be a fantastic hire for whoever gets him, but would he make the jump from Kansas to Arizona State after just 2 seasons at KU? I'm not sure if I would bet on that. Speaking of betting, you can go place your bets at chatsports.com/bet. And if you use promo code CHAT125, you can get a 125% deposit bonus. That link, chatsports.com/bet, that promo code CHAT125. Go to that link, use the promo code to get your deposit bonus, and you can bet on this. Who's going to win the Natty, right? Bama and Georgia plus 175. Ohio State plus 275, Clemson and USC behind them. You got to bet on Georgia if you're going to place a bet at this point. Georgia's looked like the most dominant team in the country. I think Bama might be a little bit overrated, if you can believe that. Let's talk about Bama's biggest rival, their head coach, Brian Harsin. Is a potential replacement here. He has been a name that's been linked by multiple college football writers to this Arizona State job. He is very much on the hot seat at Auburn, especially after that embarrassing loss at home to Penn State. Here's what CBS's Dennis Dodd said about Brian Harsin potentially going to Arizona State. Harsin could be the next coach out the door, perhaps as soon as this week. We won't bore you with the failings at Auburn by Auburn. Harsin was a bad fit for the Plains, and not a lot of it is his fault. He was from the start. Harsin is a West Coast guy whose style and personality fit in the Southwest. I fully expect him to go back to Boise at some point if Arizona State doesn't scoop him up. That coming from Dennis Dodd. So he has been linked to Arizona State. Would Harsin be a good hire at ASU? Type G for good. Or if you think it's going to be a bad hire, type B for bad down in the comments. I actually think it'd be a good hire. I don't think Brian Harsin's a bad coach. I think the fit at Auburn is a terrible fit. Dennis Dodd's right. He's a West Coast guy. He's from Boise, coached at Boise, played at Boise. He can recruit in the West Coast. I don't know about the SEC, but in the West Coast, this might be a decent hire for Auburn. However, there are better candidates on the board for them. That includes Coach O. Go Sun Devils. Man, that'd be fun to listen to that. Coach O, the former head coach at LSU. He's been going to all these games. He was at the Miami Texas A&M game over the weekend. His son is an analyst at Miami. So Coach O also going to be a name that's going to be linked to some big jobs here. Won a national championship at LSU. And, you know, it's no secret. He's living the life right now. Scottsdale might be some place that interests him, let me tell you, or at least the Phoenix area. Ed Orgeron, former head coach at LSU, a name that I certainly expect to be linked here to Arizona State, as well as Jonathan Smith. He is definitely going to be a hot commodity as well. The head coach at Oregon State has turned around this Beaver program, went to a bowl game last year. They're 3-0 this year, an impressive start. But the question I have is, would Arizona State be able to poach him away from a conference rival, number one? Number two, poach him away from his alma mater? Jonathan Smith played quarterback at Oregon State. This is his dream job. I mean, would he leave Oregon State? Obviously, Arizona State's the far better job, and with the uncertainty of how the Pac-12 is going to look in future years, he might feel more comfortable at Arizona State, but I think it's going to be pretty tough to poach him from Oregon State, at least right now. Kalani Sitake is number one on my list here. He would be a phenomenal hire. He's done a great job at BYU. BYU, though, pretty soon is going to be Big 12 bound. So that BYU job right now is a very good job. The Arizona State job a little bit better, but would they be able to get him from BYU? I'm not sure. But Kalani Sitake would be a phenomenal hire. And at Nebraska, at Arizona State, some other openings that might happen, even Auburn. He's going to be a name that we see linked to some pretty big-time jobs, and it would take a heck of an opportunity to pull him away from BYU because he's happy there. He's done very well there. Guys, again, go down, subscribe to the channel. The more job openings that happen, whenever there is a job opening, we're going to get you guys a hot board, give you a list of possible names, which is why you should go down and subscribe to the channel. Dennis Dodd's right. Brian Harsin might be next.